All right, today we're going to look at how to wind the bobbin. The bobbin thread is very important. We need to have a nicely wound bobbin in order to make a fantastic seam. So we're going to take our thread and place it on the spool pin here. And we're going to lead it from the front to the back using this thread guide. We'll bring it along the back of the machine and we'll extend out the lower thread guide here. This is, just slide it directly from the front to the back, directly out. The thread just goes between in here. You don't have to thread it. It just is a little
Tony Bosco to the office. Tony Bosco to the office.
Guide through there. Then lead it from the thread guide from the back to the front because you're bringing it up here to the bobbin winder spindle. We're going to place this bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle, and when we do that, it's amazing because the needle on the front of the machine becomes disengaged. Even when I push my foot on here, it will not allow the needle to go up and down. This is the safety feature of the machine. This is a trick I have. Just makes it a little bit easier. I put the thread on the bobbin and then I take it through this little hole in the side and out the other side here. Can you see it? Now the thread, we want it to go on the bobbin, just like that. So we're going to place it on the bobbin winder spindle and we're going to hold this thread out to the side. And I'm going to make sure it's not slack and lazy, this thread. I want it taut. I want to have pressure on it. I want to pull it out directly at a right angle. If it's too sloppy, it will get wound up on the bobbin or get wound up on the bobbin winder spindle and cause this problem. So make sure you hold on to it tight. The reason I go to this little step is it helps the student get the bobbin started on the bobbin. Get the thread started on the bobbin. All right, so I'm going to hold it to the side. I'm now pushing on the pressure foot here so I can get power, and this will give me power to the bobbin winder spindle. And I'm holding it, and it's starting to put the thread onto the bobbin evenly. Now the thread is on the bobbin. I don't need to hold this anymore. I want to clear this completely out of the way. So I cut this as close as I can so that there isn't any extra thread there hanging out to bother my machine. So no thread. It's now started on the bobbin. When I'm winding my thread, I want to make sure that I go slowly. If I go too fast, I'll end up with puckers in my seam. So we don't want to stretch our polyester thread here. The other thing is I want to see that the bobbin is filling evenly, one side and then the other, going back and forth evenly. We don't want to see it stacked on one side. If that was happening, that would be telling me that my lead onto the bobbin wasn't straight on. That would mean that this, my thread guide, maybe was pushed a bit out or pushed a bit the other way. Maybe it was joggled when it was put away, the machine was put away, but it needs to be a straight lead here in order for this bobbin to evenly thread. Once I've got my bobbin about 2/3 full, then I'm quite happy. I will have a good amount of thread on here. So I'll stop and I'll just take my thread and lead it to, this is a thread cutter here, this metal thing, and I just take my thread to it and it cuts it. Then I take my bobbin off. Now that there is no bobbin on here, the needle will start working again. So I need to be ready for that. All right, so be aware that the needle will start working again. Close this up. Push the extension back in, and I'm ready now to thread the top of my machine.